So I often get the question, what was the one thing that made me leave church and walk away from the religion that I was born in? And there isn't just one thing. It wasn't just one thing. It was a culmination of questions that I had when I was old enough to question. And over time, those same questions got bigger and bigger and bigger until I could no longer ignore them, until I had dreams about them, until I really had to explore them. Even before I left. And so it's what happens is that, you picture a pot of boiling water, and picture that boiling water being all of the questions that you've ever had about the religious construct, about the church, about the experiences that you had, and picture it at a simmer first. Then it becomes a boil, and then it becomes a roar to where it's spilling over. That's kind of how you can imagine, someone leave, or I should say, since I'm sharing my personal experience, that's how my questioning and leading up to actually walk away, that's how I can illustrate that to you. So I left when that boiling water was no longer contained in the pot. It had pushed the lid off the pot, and water was all over the place. Hot water, hot boiling water. The kind of water where you can get 3rd-degree burns from. It was all over the place. So I will say, though, one of the questions and just different iterations of it, I would always ask within myself as a child, if all of these people are talking about this God that's supposed to be able to give them all this power, this God that's supposed to be able to do all of these things, why do people speak in such a weak and powerless way? Why do people talk so bad about their lives? Why do people talk so bad about themselves? Why do people talk so bad about each other? And over time, when I finally left as an adult, I found myself one of the main things that I did to develop a spiritual practice for myself is one of the first things that I did was I started to become very intentional about what I say. Because I couldn't get past the fact that what people were speaking, it was totally different than even what their own Bible said. Because even in the Bible, it says death and life is in the power of the tongue. Not that we need the Bible to validate that, but it does say that. And I found that people who were carrying these big Bibles and hitting people over the head with Bibles and talking about and bragging about all the different types of Bibles that they had, but no one was living by that part because of what they said, because of the words that came out of their mouths. And I started in my journal. I've always been one who journals. I don't know where I picked that up from as a child, but I started to do it. Maybe it was speaking to the writer that's in me. And when I would journal, I would write my imaginations and write them as I saw them, write them in the now, write them in the moment. And that carried over into what became the beginnings of my spiritual practice. because it felt home to me. Watching what I say, watching what comes out of my mouth felt home to me. And now that I am at this huge age, well, I guess not that big, this big age of 48, I look at people around me in close proximity to me who still operate from religion, who still talk about their Bible, their God, their Jesus, but the way that they speak is terrible. The way that they speak, if they could hear themselves, if they could hear what they're saying, if they could hear the standards that they set, that they have set in their life, it's no wonder that life seems so hard. Because a lot of what they have said, they have invited it, or I should say it this way. What they have experienced and what they are experiencing right now, they've invited it into their lives by the words that they speak. And they don't even realize why they, proclaim their religion and proclaim their faith. They're also proclaiming limitation. They're proclaiming poverty. Could that be poverty in money? Yes, but poverty, we can also apply that to health. Poverty in their thinking, poverty in their communication, lack. Simply by what the words that are coming out of their mouth. And I shouldn't say simply, because it is a major thing to watch what comes out of your mouth. And why am I sharing this with you? Because as you develop your spiritual practice, as you release your life force energy from anchors of religious limitation, first of all, you develop a practice based on what feels at home to you. It's not something that you're going to find in a book. It's going to be something that just feels like a natural inclination to do. And I will say, because you are a creator, because you carry the divine womb, the dark cosmic womb as a black woman, you are automatically a creator. You carry creative energy. You carry creative power. And you begin by the way that you connect to that. One of the ways that you connect to that is by what you say. Being intentional about the words that come out of your mouth. And I believe that I've talked about this on the members only side of the channel. But it just hit me as I was driving. Yeah, I know. Probably not the safest thing, but I wanted to give you this message based off of my own personal experience. That simply being I keep saying simply, it's not simple. This is a major thing, a major deal to be intentional about what you say. But being intentional about what you say, that is a spiritual practice. That is a spiritual practice. I'm thinking of, if you don't do this already, you getting up in the morning, gifting yourself 5 minutes to either write out what you want to create for that day, and or speak what you want to create for that day. I'm not talking about what's readily in front of you. You speak your imagination. When you speak your imagination goes beyond what you think you know. It goes beyond the rational mind, and it opens you up to the cosmic possibilities. And the cosmic possibilities go beyond any physical boundaries. So you allow yourself to speak with no limitations, and speak it in the now. Speak it right now. You see it, you speak it, and you receive. This is not you trying to figure out how it's going to happen. It's not you trying to figure out if you need to call someone or email somebody or go and ask someone for advice. It's just simply you focusing on what you desire and breathing in that desire from your womb, breathing it in. And as you hold in your breath, you're placing your focus, you're placing your breath on that desire, and you're breathing it out into the ethers. That is indicative of your creation power. So if you are thinking now, okay, what is my spiritual practice? I want to create a spiritual practice. What can I do? Well, let your first spiritual practice be you being intentional about what you say, and you embodying the creative power of your divine womb. Because see, the thing is about us Black women, our power is not something that we have to manifest. And which is why I do not talk about manifestation in the way that, the way that you see it on social media, this new age stuff. No, because we're ancient. The creative power of our womb is ancient. So that new age manifestation stuff does not apply to us. We create differently because it is in us. It is our energy. It is us. Where do you think all this new age stuff came from? It's an iteration. Some of it is twisted. A lot of it is twisted. But it began with our Black ancient mothers. It is ours. So, if you're at a point now where you're saying, okay, I want to develop a spiritual practice. I want to have something that is mine, that feeds my divinity, that feeds my soul, that feeds my spirit. Begin with being intentional about what you say, about yourself, about your life, about your desires. Start there and see what happens.